Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. We're starting here with a new Welcome Hub update for the PlayStation 5 being reported by Push Square. They say Sony has pushed a new update live to the Welcome Hub app on PS5 that adds a new widget with extra stat tracking on it, as well as a seasonal animated background that changes throughout the year. On our UK PSN account, the update is live now, and you'll be alerted to the new widget and background. When you add the widget, which is called Recently Played, your latest played game will be displayed along with the total number of hours, how many sessions you've had, and your overall game progress. Then the new animated background is linked to the current season and time of year. At the moment, it has an autumn feel with leaves falling from trees. This will cycle through winter, spring, summer, and back to autumn as time goes on. So yeah, just wanted to give you this quick update. I did get this update on my PS5, and yeah, I do like the new widget. It's actually one that I want to use and kind of take advantage of and, just at a glance get that information. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see what Sony's doing with this seasonal animated background. Let me know if that's something you're planning on using, but we're going to move on to the next topic here, which is briefly talking about PlayStation's Black Friday sales. A lot of people look forward to these deals, and so they do say here you can visit the official PlayStation Black Friday website on November 21st. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to the actual console bundles, we're looking at a PS5 Digital Edition 825GB Fortnite Flower and Chaos bundle, and it's going to be available at $400 US. They're going to have a 1TB PS5 bundle, which does come with the disc drive for the Fortnite Flower and Chaos bundle. That will be available at $450. That's the one I would recommend because not only are you getting more storage, but you're also getting a disc drive for an extra $50. I feel like that's probably the way to go. But on top of that, you're going to get some PlayStation exclusive in-game content, 1,000 V-Bucks. It says in select regions, players can save $100 US on PS5 consoles and $100 US on digital edition consoles that are not the Fortnite bundle. And then they say here you will save $100 on the PS5 Pro. Now, when it comes to the savings you can expect for accessories, you're going to be looking at $100 off PlayStation VR 2, $20 off the PlayStation Portal, $20 off the Pulse Elite headset, $30 off the Pulse Explorer earbuds, $30 off the DualSense Edge, $20 off regular DualSense controllers, and $20 off the Access controller. They also say there's going to be various discounts on PS5 games like Death Stranding 2, Lost Soul Aside, Astrobot, and God of War Ragnarok. Now, they also have something they're doing here for PlayStation Plus. They say players in participating countries who join PS Plus during PlayStation's Black Friday promotion can save up to 33% on a 12-month membership. Current PlayStation Plus members can save 33% on the remainder of their membership when upgrading from PS Plus Essential to Extra or Premium. They say here hundreds of game offers will be available on the PlayStation Store. Check out offers on hundreds of PS5 and PS4 digital games with savings of up to 75%. Visit the PlayStation Store when the promotion begins on November 21st to view the full selection. And finally here, they're saying that they're going to be doing up to 60% off on the PlayStation Gear Store. The reason why I think this is worth mentioning is because this store is apparently shutting down at the end of the year. So yeah, you might get some really good deals on some PlayStation merch over on that storefront if you're at all interested. They say there's no promo code necessary. Clearly, they're just trying to get rid of stuff, right? So there you go. Those are the Black Friday deals for PlayStation. But moving on to the next topic, we have a very interesting report about Valve's Steam Machine and how it's being reported that apparently this is not going to be as affordable as people were expecting. And it seems like, yeah, it's not necessarily going to be positioned to take on the consoles like PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2. This is being reported by Push Square. They say we don't know the price of Valve's new Steam Machine, and that means it's difficult to determine just how competitive it'll be against the PS5. But a report that's doing the rounds via Linus Tech Tips suggests the new console-like hardware won't necessarily be going head-to-head with Sony's system when it comes to affordability. As part of a story shared by Dexerto, the YouTuber noted bad energy during a recent preview session when he alluded to the upcoming device having a, quote, console price. So here's exactly what he said. When I said I'm disappointed it isn't going to follow a console pricing model where it's subsidized by the fact that manufacturer is going to be taking 30% of every game sold on it over the lifespan of this thing, because I feel that would be a more meaningful product, they asked what I meant by console price, and I said $500. Nobody said anything, but the energy in the room wasn't great. That's exactly what Linus had to say. The report continues, it's far from a confirmation of anything, of course. Vibes are not announcements, and Valve staff may just be playing their best poker face. But considering the Steam Machine is weaker than the PS5, its overall value proposition would have to be questioned if it ends up costing more than Sony's console. Of course, there is still the advantage to the appliance, such as its open nature and access to Steam's cavernous library, but as Linus Tech Tips himself points out, we think it'll be a tough sell if it costs upward of $600. To be fair, Valve is probably not targeting the mass market with this product anyway, so it may not matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, but it's going to have to price the hardware eventually, so it's going to be interesting to see just how much it costs. And yeah, I thought this was absolutely worth taking a moment to cover, because when this device was announced, there were so many, I guess you could say, reactions from people that would have you believe that, wow, we're seeing a real genuine competitor rising up out of nowhere, to maybe take the place of what Xbox has been trying to do for the past 2 decades, try to take on the PlayStation console and the Switch. But at least based off of this, it seems like it's looking less and less likely that that's going to be the case. A lot of people do believe that the Steam Machine is actually going to be for a more niche group of consumers, and it's really not meant to target a mass market, and it's certainly not meant to try to take on what PlayStation and Nintendo are doing in the home console space. But I guess time will tell. Figured you guys would be interested in knowing that, though. Moving on, we're talking about Stalker 2. We have, I think, some good and some bad news here, because it's releasing on the PlayStation 5. Being reported by Gaming Bolt, they say with the PS5 release of Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, developer GSC Game World have revealed quite a few details about the upcoming console release. In an interview with WCCF Tech, communications director and technical director have confirmed that the PS5 Pro version of the open world shooter targets graphical settings similar to PC's highest preset, while noting that optimizing for a game console is entirely different than doing so for PC. They say that the PS5 Pro version of Stalker 2 isn't quite 100% the same as the PC version's high settings. Rather, the console release is leaning towards that preset. And it says here that they provided comprehensive details about the kind of resolution and performance targets that they're aiming for with the PS5 and PS5 Pro versions. So on the base PS5, it's going to run at 2K 60 FPS in performance mode, with the quality mode aiming for 4K 30 FPS. On the PS5 Pro, on the other hand, it's going to target 4K 60 FPS in performance mode and 4K 30 FPS with a higher level of detail in the quality mode. They say we don't use PSSR, only UE5 integrated TSR. So yeah, I've been seeing some comparison screenshots, and the PS5 Pro version of this game does look very, very good. However, on the flip side of this, it does have some technical issues, which is being reported by Push Square. They say we've had access to the open world game for a few weeks now for review purposes, but have encountered numerous bugs, glitches, and performance issues during that time. A day one patch has been promised to fix many of those flaws, and now the game is out, so too is the update 1.7. Based on our experience, it is essential that you update the game to this version to ensure the best experience available on PS5. And so it does seem like this is one of those situations where reviewers maybe were playing a much lesser version of the game, and that day one patch is going to clean up most of the issues that they've encountered. But yeah, Stalker 2 is kind of known to be a game that's had some issues, and the devs have been doing their best to fix it. But yeah, I'll be curious to see, with those of you who choose to play this, what you think of it. I've heard really good things about it, but I have heard that on the technical side, it has some issues. Moving on to the final topic, though, I do want to let you know that a game that I think quite a few have played on PS5, that being Mafia: The Old Country, is getting a significant update. The popular 2K Games and Hangar 13 action-adventure title Mafia: The Old Country is receiving a big update that introduces a new game mode that might be familiar to fans of the series. The best part is players won't have to wait long to play the new free content. From the PlayStation blog, the main attraction of the new Mafia Old Country update is the addition of the free ride mode. Fans may recognize this as a callback to the original Mafia's Free Ride Extreme mode and the Mafia Definitive Edition's Free Ride mode. Separate from the main story, this allows players to continue to explore the Valderrama and complete new repeatable challenges, including combat, stealth, and different race types. Completing these challenges earns players currency to spend on new outfits, charms, weapons, and vehicles in this mode in the main campaign. Beyond the free ride mode, the Mafia Old Country update will also add the much requested photo mode, also first-person driving, classic difficulty, and the Cinema Siciliano mode will also be added in the update. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this because, again, I know quite a few of you are Mafia fans here, and this does seem like a pretty substantial update that honestly I don't know that I was really expecting. So, you know, it's always cool to see these single-player games getting these free content updates. We just talked about Ghost of Yote yesterday, and now we're talking about Mafia the Old Country today. So it's good to see these titles getting good support. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.